Okay, so this is going to be a re-instruction video on how to do the distance formula. During our in-class practice, everybody had this one down, but on the test, there were a few people who didn't quite get the right answers. So I wanted an opportunity to do some re-instruction and a sample, and then give you an opportunity to try it again or to try some new questions. Okay, so let's start off by remembering that the distance formula, the goal of the distance formula is to find the distance between 2 points. So I'm going to create 2 points here, an ordered pair, 5, -5, and let's do 10, 8. Now I'm going to go ahead and write down the distance formula. D equals square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Okay, there's the distance formula. Remember, our first step was to label those ordered pairs. And so we're going to label them as x1, y1, x2, y2. This was an important step because then we're going to plug those into the formula down here based on what they are. So let's go ahead and write down this formula with our new numbers in. So D equals square root of x2 is right here. x2 is 10, so I'm going to put that there, minus, because that's what the formula says, minus x1, which is 5. So I'm going to put that right there, squared, plus, that's what the formula says, plus, then I'm going to look for my y2, which is right there, 8, minus my y1, which is right there. So that's 8 minus -5. Remember, a negative becomes a plus, squared. And I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms now and start to simplify. D equals square root of 10 minus 5 is 5 squared. Don't let that lose that squared. Plus 8 plus 5 is 13 squared. Then I'm going to go ahead and solve that next part. Square root of 25, 5 squared is 25, plus, I'm going to grab my calculator here, 13 squared, that's 13 times 13 equals 169. So I'm going to put that right here. Bringing it down another line. 25 plus 169, so I already have 169 there, so I can just go ahead and add 25 to that to get 194. And we're going to keep that square root bar. And the final step is to go ahead and find the square root of that. And so on my calculator, it's right there. And so the square root is 13.93, because we're rounding to the nearest hundredth. So I'm looking at that 2 and turning it into a 3. So the distance between those 2 points is 13.93 units. And there's my final answer on that one. Let's go ahead and watch it one more time, and then I'll give you a couple sample problems. I'll load those up, that if you are going to redo those questions on your test, you will have access to that. Let's go ahead and load that up. Here we go. Let's try it again. Let's get some ordered pairs down here. How about if we do 0, 15, and how about if we do -8, 12? So the question is, what is the distance between 0, 15 and -8, 12? Well, I'm going to go ahead and write down my distance formula. D equals square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And then I'm going to go up here and label those. x1, y1, x2, y2. And now we're going to go ahead and plug those in where they go on the formula. So D equals square root, don't lose that square root. I think a few of you guys did that, lost your square root bar. Okay, x2, which is over here, negative 8, minus x1, which is right there, 0, squared, plus, because that's what the formula says, y2, here's my y2 right there, 12, minus my y1, which is 15, squared. Let's go ahead and start simplifying. D equals square root of negative 8 minus 0 is still negative 8 squared, plus 12 minus 15 is negative 3 squared,